Hey, it's Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid, and it is January 19th, so I have the 19th issue of Transformers from 1986. That would be August of 1986, which is featuring Omega Supreme, the first appearance of Omega Supreme. And we start right off in the issue with Optimus Prime showing the Autobots that they've created Omega Supreme. Do you remember when they revived Smokescreen and Skids and Trax and Hoist and Grapple? Well, Optimus took Grapple aside because he's an architect, and what he and Grapple did was they made Omega Supreme. Grapple created him, and then Optimus Prime used the Matrix of Creation, and he gave him life. And so Omega Supreme is going to be their line of defense at the Ark. So he's the last line of defense at the Ark, because Optimus has decided that what they're going to do now is they are going to go and attack the Decepticons to find out the secret of Devastator, the secret of how those robots fit together to form Devastator, how the Constructicons become that they're called, it's a certain thing that they're called, the Gestalt, how they become the Gestalt of Devastator. I think it's a little bit more complicated than just how they fit together, because they actually work as one mind. Devastator's not as bright as some of the other Gestalts, but they're there to work as one mind, and that's one of the things that the Gestalts do. And so you'll see in this issue, Optimus has a little bit of dissension in the ranks. Skids questions why they are doing this. Are they needlessly going out there and putting themselves in danger, attacking the Decepticons, who have obviously by now fortified their defenses? And then the Dinobots, who we haven't seen since their issue number 8, we haven't seen them do anything. They don't want to go because Optimus has told them that they don't fit in with the current landscape, so they can't really be in disguise. And now they want him to go fight, but not fight. And Grimlock's like, no, we're not going to do that. Dinobots understand we are warriors, but because you say we would stand out and among humans we never go to war, now you tell us to go to war but do not fight. And he's like, that's it, we're gone. Says, commander who attacks to run away cannot command Dinobots. And there's always been tension between Optimus and Grimlock as to who is the better leader. And so, Optimus, he figured on that. He figured that the Dinobots would take off, and it seems that a lot of the Autobots are questioning Optimus Prime and his motives at this point, and the clarity of this mission. Well, which is too bad, because Optimus is smart, and but it does seem like a suicide mission. It's not too smart for them to do this. And so they transform and they roll out. Meanwhile, at the Decepticon base, which is now the strip mine, they have actually fortified the defenses because Shockwave went and he found the Constructicons and brought them there. Now, I don't remember them being lost. I remember them getting defeated by at the time when they made the space bridge, not the space bridge, but the interplanetary radio wave tower thing, and we hadn't seen them since. So the Constructicons are there, Shockwave's there, Megatron's there, all the Decepticons are together at this base right now, and they're still there with excuse me, Donnie Finkleberg. I have a cold, I apologize. They're there with Donnie Finkleberg, who is the Robot Master, and Donnie, he wants to get out. He does not want to be there anymore, because he knows that as soon as Shockwave takes over, he's going to be a splattered puddle of protoplasm. That's it. He's done for. So he's thinking of a way in which he can get out of there, especially with Ravage watching him all the time, and Ravage can track him down by his scent. So Megatron wants now to go after. They're still fighting for who's going to be in command. And Shockwave does keep saying that, he's not fit, that Megatron's not fit to command, but Megatron keeps doing these wild and crazy things So the Megatron takes the Seekers, and let's see who else is going to go with them. Buzzsaw, Frenzy, Rumble. They are, let's see, Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker, Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, Frenzy, Rumble, and Megatron. They're all going out to meet the new Decepticons who came over in the space bridge. They're going to be sorely disappointed, and so they fly off. Meanwhile, Shockwave stays with the rest of the Constructicons and Ravage, and I think that's it. The Constructicons and Ravage at the base. The Autobots are on their way to the base. They're going to just communicate with their inter-radio, so there they are. And they're going through a town, and Skids is, not really quite paying attention, and he, sideswipes a car that looks like Sideswipe. And this guy, his name is Jake Dalrymple, and he is not happy that Skids just, clipped his car, so he chases after the Autobots. The Autobots then get to the base, but the army is there, and they've blocked the way. They use Jetfire to, cause a diversion, and then they go through the roadblock. As they go through the roadblock, they're not stopped by the army, but the Jake Dalrymple guy, he does get stopped because they pull a gun on him, and so he and his girlfriend are there, and they're being detained. Meanwhile, the Autobots continue on, and the Decepticon base is quite fortified. They now have automatic gun turrets, and the Autobots then transform and attack. Optimus Prime has them press the attack, and they fight the part of the base. But meanwhile, we got Megatron and the Seekers. They're going out to see the other Decepticons. They get there and they recognize that those are not Decepticons, they're Autobots. So the guys who came over in the last issue, Blaster and Cosmos and all those guys, they're standing out there, and they've got the police around them. So they're still just standing there. And Megatron decides, well, these guys aren't here, and they're the wrong ones that came to Earth. And so he calls back to the base. Oh, and Soundwave stayed at the base too. And Shockwave says that he should return immediately because the Autobots are attacking the base. Megatron says, no, if they're attacking the base, then their base is undefended, so I'm going to go and attack their base at this point. I'm not going to go with what Shockwave has to say. And Shockwave's like, well, go ahead. You probably will die. That'd be great. And then again, we get Donnie Finkleberg, who calls Megatron Meggy. Who says, like, if Megatron dies, then I'll probably be going to be next. Autobots continue to fight, and they destroy some of the gun turrets. They are getting hit, but nobody's dying. They're getting some hits, and there's other defenses in addition to the gun turrets. So they've got, like, I don't know, this prehensile ropes and stuff, or chains, and then this axe thing. Yeah, so those are other defenses that they've created. The Constructicons then form Devastator, and as they're forming Devastator, sneaky little Bumblebee is recording the whole thing so we can kind of figure out, hey, how does Devastator get formed? And Devastator attacks, but he's in the bottom of the pit, and basically he's just going to try to smash the Autobots with a big rock, which does not work out well for him. They can't knock him down completely, but he's not going to smash him with a big rock. Excuse me. So, Bumblebee has recorded the information that they need, and now they need to get away safely, and so the Autobots retreat. As they retreat, do they want to pursue the Autobots? Shockwave. Should they pursue? It's just Shockwave, Soundwave, and Ravage. That's it. The Constructicons aren't going to be chasing after them too quickly. So he's like, no, we're not going to chase them. And it wouldn't be logical. So Shockwave, ever the logical character. Meanwhile, Donnie Finkleberg has somehow gotten away, and Ravage does smell him. He's tracking him down. Then we got the guy with his Lamborghini who's being detained, and he's out there saying that he's not part of this whole thing, so just let him go. Back at the Autobot base, the Decepticons, Megatron and Frenzy and Rumble, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Starscream, Laserbeak, and Buzzsaw, they all come across and they see that there's a tank and a rocket booster appear to be the sole defenders of the Ark. And, obviously they're not paying too much attention and they don't give it too much care, which is to the dismay. Skywarp gets blasted into pieces. Just blasted. Taken out right away. The Decepticons transform and they attack the tank part of Omega Supreme, and they are not able to even scratch it. Omega Supreme's track is actually electrified and knocks them all back, gives him time to transform, and as he transforms into Omega Supreme, he starts throwing shade at all the Decepticons, saying, "Prepare to meet your manufacturer, Decepticons." And they ask, "Who are you?" And he says, "I am the guardian of the gates, the junction of your destruction, the laser lighting the way to your doom, the planner of your obsolescence, the furnace that fires your demise. I am the number you cannot compute, Decepticon." I mean, he has the best trash talk. And meanwhile, he's blowing up Decepticons left and right. Omega Supreme is awesome. He's just an awesome character. And so he fights all the Decepticons, knocks Megatron away, and basically only Megatron and Laserbeak escaped that. So we got, it could have been another one. We got Skywarp, Starscream, Thundercracker, Buzzsaw, Frenzy, and Rumble. 6 Decepticons are now what they call on cold storage at the auto base, and we find that out when they return. So he knocks out 6 of the 8 Decepticons that came after him. The Autobots are still on their escape, and as they're escaping, that guy with the Lamborghini gets in the way of Skids, gives Ravage time to fire a missile at Skids, knock him off, and the Autobots, they keep going. They keep going because that their mission. They want to keep everybody safe. Optimus Prime knows any detour for the sake of his fallen friend endangers the entire mission. The Autobot convoy continues on. They had to make some hard decisions in this. Alright, Laserbeak deposits Megatron at the foot of Shockwave, and you figure that now Shockwave's going to take command. He's definitely going to challenge to take command, and in the way only Megatron can do, he turns it on his ear, and he says it's the only logical thing that he could have done, and saying that the auto base being, the Ark's apparent vulnerability was a distraction from the true situation at Autobot base. Okay, so he knows that there was something else was going on here, and what was going on here, they don't know yet. But what was going on for the Autobots is they were trying to find the secret of Devastator. And at the end, Shockwave says that Megatron's argument was sound, and again, he remains commander and leader for now. The Autobots return, and they learn that the 6 of the Decepticons are now in cold storage, and all the Autobots are, they're basically celebrating that the mission was a success, but the only problem was, the success was, it wasn't a complete success because now we got poor Skids. Poor Skids out there, trashed, down the side of a mountain. What's going to happen with him? We'll find out in the next issue probably. Anyway, this is Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid. You can find me on Instagram as Big Damn Kid, Twitter, Facebook. You can also find me here at BigDamnKid.com. And you can always find me making videos every day. Please subscribe, leave me a comment. That'd be fantastic. Thanks for watching.